from Doc. Which, by the way, I want to bring to you, Doc's Corner has now spun off his own episodes. He has 2 episodes out, working on a 3. Please don't miss that. He'll be covering a review on the DG Type Bore barrels, which is going to be very interesting to cover. So you're using a .43?
Right, yeah. .43s, Teflon coated. They work phenomenal. My only drawback on these is that they're gray, so when you're looking through your scope, you really can't see where they're going and make the proper adjustments. Like with a 3 there, I can easily hit someone with those because they're brightly colored. I know where they're going in my scope, and I know the proper adjustments. With these, you really just have to trust that you sighted your rifle in properly and just go with that.
So, okay, so we've talked about BBs. We've seen different types of streams. So the heavier you go, obviously, you're probably getting a better accuracy versus the wind, when it's windy and stuff like that. Now, lighter might give you more range, but the accuracy drops off after a distance. So I would say if you're shooting between, let's say over the 500 mark, I personally use .28s, but I would recommend that to anyone who's shooting probably 420 and above to move up to a .28. And now, what FPS are you shooting?
I'm shooting about 589 with a .2 gram BB. I need to cut a spring actually because I lost my air brake recently that goes onto my neo piston, which will probably bring me down to about 540, 550 mark.
Okay. And
I notice.
Do the .3s actually shoot straight for you, even at 580?
They shoot straight, but I can give you the upgrades. I have the PSS 10 Latelax zero trigger with the neo piston, the orange neo piston, and an SP170 spring, along with the 9-ball hop-up rubber. With this, I also, for the heavier BBs, I took note of the Bowers guide off of Airsoft Sniper community.uk of using a pen as an oven, which gives me, I actually overhop with my .3s, which I actually plan on.
Now, when you say overhop, does the BB curl up or does it, go down?
I mean, it curls after about 50 yards. It'll go up and then it'll come down. So I can probably get a semi-accurate shot off at about 75 yards as it's shooting right now.
That's a good point. You mentioned 75 yards. I want to ask. A lot of people sit there and they claim shots of 200 yards, which I think we all can sit there and just go
horseshit.
Horseshit, yeah, exactly. And especially with the noobs, they'll say, "Oh, I got a shot at 300 feet," and we're like, "That's 100 yards, buddy," and
doubt it.
Very, very, very doubtful. Especially if they're toting with, I'd say, a UTG, a stock UTG, if that. Yeah. What would you say your average range is? I mean, Oakey says, 75 yards?
I would say between 65 and 75 yards on average.
About the same.
About the same.
My longest shot, as of now, is 90 yards, which was confirmed by Mosin at last American Garden 2, hosted by LA.
And, for those who sit there and they'll look at a range, and range can be very deceiving, I want to point out. We actually took a GPS once and measured a distance. People claimed they thought it was 85 yards and turned out to be only, I believe, 55 yards. So if you are wanting to figure out your range and you go to a field, make sure it's calm so you can get some good accuracy and adjust your hop-up. But get a GPS or get a tape measure of some sort and get out there and actually measure the distance from your shooting point to your target point. Well, let's take a quick break. We're going to heat up the garage because it is cold out, and we are recording in the garage because this is the only place I have for space to bring all this out on the table and show you what we have. So we're going to heat up the garage, and we'll come back to you. So we're back. This is the Airsoft News Network Sniper Edition. Now, up next, we're going to talk about gear. So the question is what is essential for a sniper for gear? I mean, other than a ghille suit, what else should a sniper have out there? We have a few things on the table here of some great examples. Let's first start with, Mosin, why don't you tell us what you think is probably the most important thing on this table?
I'm going to go ahead and say hydration here because it's your #1 enemy on the field. Hydration is a soldier's worst enemy in the real battlefield, and that's similar with airsoft. Under a ghille suit, your body temperature can rise by a couple degrees, and you'll start sweating pretty good. So a hydration pack is definitely an essential to keeping your cool out in the field for those long periods of time that you need to.
All right. So hydration pack. Now, obviously, you can't put that over your ghille. So I take it you're going to put it underneath you, and your ghille goes on top. And what's probably really nice about that in the summertime is, I would recommend to our viewers fill it up with ice water. So then the cold water is going to keep your body temperature cool too. So that's going to help you reduce against your dehydration issues.
And your heat stroke as well.
Yeah, and heat stroke as well. Now, Oakey, what do you have over here? Would you consider probably your next most important?
Well, besides goggles, I like carrying this fanny pack here, and it may sound funny, a fanny pack, but I carry anywhere from extra BBs, which I won't carry. I don't really carry loose BBs on the field too. A rag to wipe off my lenses. I can just place that right in there too. Extra mags and a mag pouch I can place right in here, just like so. Gloves, I can put extra gloves. I can even, if I really wanted to, I could use up all the space and put extra goggles in here in case I had a fogging issue, which I usually don't because I wear mesh goggles.
No, well, let me ask you this. Why a fanny pack over, say, a web gear type unit?
Well, I like wearing this because a web gear type unit gets bulky at times.
Okay, so our viewers probably won't be able to see it because this is behind the table. But I think what you're trying to say is that it's a low profile and it's not getting caught up on a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, it's once you get it around your belt, like I wear a belt with my ghille suit anyways to keep it tight around my waist. So when I'm crawling, it doesn't fall down. So I usually like wearing this on my side, and when if I need to, I can switch it around like this, and I know where everything is inside of it, and I just don't have to fumble around. I just go like this, reach the side, feel around a little bit, and I can grab my whatever I need. And it's really lightweight. You really don't notice it at all when you're wearing it. And with web gear and whatnot, you have a bulkiness around your waist, which it is when you're in a hide, it doesn't look as it doesn't look as natural, I don't think.
So what you're saying is you like it because it's small, it's compact, and there's nothing extra hanging on to you that's going to,
lightweight as well.
It's lightweight, yeah, and it's crawling through the weeds and stuff like that. It's not going to catch on anything because it is a low profile,
right?
And it's really accessible and easy to get to.
As well as a lot of molding gear is Velcro, and with this, you just have that instead of like the Velcro in this, which really goes like.
Now, Mosin's got something you're explaining and putting stuff in here. He's putting on this shoulder ring.
Yep.
Now, what is this little contraption you have here?
Well, most viewers probably won't be able to see this, but it's pretty much just a pack, and I did a little camo scheme on it with some spray paint, and
you put a D-ring on it and attach it to what looks almost like a dog collar leash.
Pretty much, it was just a little rig that I built. Secures it around my shoulder, so I know I'm never going to lose it in the field. And what I do is I tie this around my leg, and right here is an open spot, so I can run a belt right through that, and then I tie the belt around my leg, so I pretty much just have a drop leg type bag, and it's never going to go anywhere because it's around my shoulder. So that's pretty much the setup I roll.